All right, pickle people, we are back. It's another episode of Is This a Pickleball Podcast? I don't know the answer to that question, but I know the answer to who am I. I am Matthew K. Pickleball, and I am joined today by my co-host, Mr. Wilson. How are you doing on this rainy LA day? I don't know if I can reveal this, I heard you swapped out the pickleball paddles for some soju action yesterday.
Heck yeah. Couldn't get into any indoor open plays. There aren't that many indoor pickleball courts here in California because it rains only a handful of times a year. So I was like, let's go have some fun and go karaoke and drink some soju in K-Town. Um,
All
so if
right,
I'm a little
folks.
slow today, guys, it's a little
If you're,
hangover, but
you're gosh, this is family friendly. The kids don't know what that means. That just means he's a little tired, folks. But all right, guys. Try to wish. Well, LA needs the rain, so I was about to say wish LA's rain stops. So Wilson can embrace his better habits. But you know what? We need the rain. Wilson will power through. He's okay. He's okay. But a
yeah.
few reminder, a few reminders before we kick things off. Matthew K. Pickleball, the YouTube channel is all about the giveaways. We just gave away a Honolulu NF paddle, a Thrive Fury. Still trying to give away that Carbon True Film Genesis 4. We're recording this one a little early because we've got some crazy schedules coming up. But Eric, come on, please reply back to that
Still
email.
hasn't replied to you yet, huh?
He has not. I have pinged him.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
He'll take it. I've had to. I think in the past I've had to run it again to get a winner. But that's why
Free
I asked
paddles
folks.
and they don't want it.
Yeah, I mean it's clear. I asked for an email so I don't get into this issue, but I've clearly got like a burner email that he doesn't check often. But hopefully he'll open that up. And then we still are giving away a pair of Slyce pickleball shoes in that 6-0 Ruby Pro review, a Rhombus Quanta. That one might be wrapping up super soon. So definitely check that video out. And some Bodhi accessories with my Vatic VSOL video, as well as a 6 quarts paddle with the Black Opal review. And then we'll be talking a little bit more about some other giveaways that are going on as we progress. But before you do anything else, folks, why don't you just hit that subscribe button, like this video, and leave us a comment. Leave Wilson some encouraging words on how to get through a rainy LA with no pickleball. He needs some encouragement, guys. So send him some love. And then, all right, Wilson, today's pod is a little different. All right, we are going
Okay.
to first do some major Black Friday alerts. There are a lot of deals coming, and I just wanted to highlight some of the ones that have come through my inbox. And then today's pod gets even stranger after that because I have been wanting to do a top pickleball accessories video since last year, actually. And I just, paddles keep coming out. This year was crazy for paddles. Freaking a paddle out every day. And that video just has never materialized. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to talk through what I think are some of the top holiday pickleball gifts that you can get. And a lot of that includes pickleball accessories, stuff you can put in people's stockings, and the big idea behind this, and we already talked about this, is if you're getting someone that in your crew, in your family, your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whoever, if they're a pickleball lover, you might want to get them a pickleball related gift. But you might not be a pickleball lover. And if that's you, if you're someone that doesn't know anything about pickleball, if you think you can stand in the kitchen and hit out of the air, this podcast is for you because I'm going to walk through some great pickleball gift ideas because it's always, what do you think? Do you want to be gifted a paddle? I'm always like
It's
picking up. Yeah. What do you think about
it,
that?
it's a personal preference. Even grips. I mean, Matt likes tacky grips. I like dry grips. Yeah, I would not recommend buying a paddle for your significant other or just for anyone, you know, that you don't know especially if you're not a pickleball player yourself. Um, and even then I wouldn't recommend buying someone else a paddle. But
Right.
accessories, yeah.
Yeah. Well, dang, Wilson, you just well, let's just not record if you don't think we can get accessories. But
No,
I'm
accessories are good. Yeah.
okay. All right. I'm gonna walk through some tips on the accessories. But yes, like Wilson said, picking a paddle is hard enough for the person that plays with the paddle. I think it's quite a task to try to guess what paddle your pickleball lover would love. And so I'm recommending steer away from buying paddles unless they just write it out on a note.
Uh,
Then you know what to get. But without that, if you're trying to do a surprise gift, I would not buy a paddle because that might end up sitting in the garage, staying in the bag. But the stuff we're going to walk through today will get used. I don't want to guarantee it, but I want to I think we've got some safe choices. But all right, let's kick things off. Are you ready for the Black Friday alerts, Wilson? I need some pump. Get ready to
let's
storm
do
the
this.
stores. All right. Okay. All right, real quick. Let me see. I have a bag of goodies. Real quick, the first thing we've got. Well, I don't have that bag of goodies in front of me. Here, I do. We've got. Yeah, I said I have it and then I don't. But everybody knows Matthew K. Pickleball is a fan of the Honolulu paddles. Maybe not this one in particular, but we won't get into that right now. Lots of people love this one, though. This is the one that was just next to me. But Honolulu's Black Friday Cyber Monday sale is going to be November 28th to December 1st. Oh, and the reason I wanted to highlight the Black Friday stuff is if you are planning to get gifts, pickleball related gifts for somebody, I would suggest take advantage of all these sales. So that's why we're kind of doing this podcast early so you can get the best deals because everyone, I don't know, Wilson, look, Black Friday stresses me out. It stressed me out before pickleball. Like I avoid Black Friday. I find it like
Did you ever spend the night outside a store waiting in line though?
no, I don't think so.
Man,
I
I
the
used to do
only
that at like Best Buy and stuff.
Yeah, the only big Black Friday experience I remember is like my roommate in college, like stormed to get a TV. But now TVs are so cheap. But anyway, uh, but yeah, Black Friday stresses me out. So hopefully, I'm gonna walk you through some of the things that stuck out to me, and hopefully put it in your calendar. But try not to get too stressed about this stuff, folks. But Honolulu's Black Friday Cyber Monday sale is November 28th to December 1st. Promo codes will stack. Honolulu's promo codes are crazy, so you're going to have to run through a few to get the best price. Promo code Matthew K generally works on all the paddles except for the Kevlar paddles, and promo code Matthew Kevlar works for the Kevlar paddles. But I have a special promo code, Matthew K Sale, that works on. Usually they have these super sale paddles, and that knocks off I think $5 extra on those. So run through those, see which is stacking because here are the sales. Most Gen 4 foam paddles, so well, not this one. Most Gen 4 foam paddles are going to be 5% off. Codes will stack except for the J6 and the FC Plus. Those are excluded. So I don't know if that means the J6 FC Plus or if the J2 FC Plus is going to be lumped into that. You'll just have to try. All Gen 3 paddles, 5% off, codes, and then codes will stack on that. So that includes the J2K Plus, the J2 Ti Plus, which everyone loved at the beginning of the year, and then everyone kind of forgot because then the J2NF paddles came out, the J2FC Plus paddles came out, and then all the foam paddles came out. But the Gen 3 paddle I recommend trying to grab, it would be, I really like the J2H Plus. That one I really like. That one has a layer of fiberglass, but I also am a big fan of, if you want a little softer touch at the kitchen, look at that Kevlar one, the J2K Plus, because that's going to soften up, or the titanium. And I'm pretty sure Honolulu is the only one using that titanium weave for a Gen 3 paddle. So check those out. And now the big one, all Gen 2 paddles, 10% off code stack. So that's a pretty good deal. You can get the J2K, the king of last year, for a good deal. Check those out. And then let's just keep chugging along. There's the one of your favorite brands, freaking 11624. They've lost their minds. They've gone crazy over there.
Pretty good deals.
You know the deals. So
Oh yeah, I picked up some hats for their 11/6 sale.
they had a big sale on 11/6, so November 6th. So that's when their sales kicked off. November 6th to the November 20th, 20% off all paddles, except I believe the jelly beans are just 10% off. And then you're scoring entries to win a $10,000 cash prize. So they're doing a freaking old school sweepstakes. Whew. How many jelly beans did they sell to be able to do that, Wilson? What? My gosh. What? That is crazy. And promo code Matthew K does stack on the paddles. And then I did just find out that they are doing a mystery box drop. And we talked about this last week. Both Pro XR and PaddleTech are doing mystery box deals. So now 11624 is, I'm not sure if codes are going to work for that. But you basically pick your shape, and you'll either get a power version or an all-court 50-50 shot at either. It's $85. And then this is an all sales is final deal, and it's only while supplies last. So not exactly sure what all comes in the mystery box drop, other than you definitely get a high-quality paddle. So you'll just have to check the details out on that. I think it was some freebies. And then another one that I really want to emphasize, folks, this one is coming up, and we've talked about it a little bit already, but Chorus Pickleball, our friends, I've done a whole podcast talking about Chorus, did an interview with Matt, the owner over there, but they had that little hiccup with their logo, so they're having to do a clearance sale. They're having to get rid of their gear that has their old logo by the end of the year. And the way they're doing that, they're selling their stuff cheap. And so they're doing their own Black Friday promotions. And they've got some crazy deals. They've got some crazy deals going on for their Black Friday. I don't have the dates right in front of me. I'll try to put that in the show notes. But just some insane pricing. They're selling, and so you might know Chorus for their Phoenix paddles. This one, do you want to tell folks a little bit about this one?
Yeah,
The Phoenix line.
I would say it's like a PaddleTech TKO equivalent. It's really poppy. It's I don't think there's any weights in there, but I mean, I just remember it being very powerful, and I really liked it.
You really liked it,
And
and you were
if you can get it on sale, it's basically a PaddleTech on sale. So I mean, I think it's worth a try.
yes. And so these are going to be on sale, and I'm looking right here at the details. I don't have the dates. Oh, here we go. Whew. I was. Did you guys see me? I was sweating bullets. I missed this in my notes, but so November 26th to November 30th, there's gonna be that's when the sale runs, and so that one's more traditional timing. But yeah, I'm just giving folks a heads up and highlighting some things. But yeah, they're gonna have, for example, Black Friday after code, their Echo paddles, $49. $49 for the elongated, for the hybrid. The standard's gonna be $39. Freaking the Phoenix paddles, the standard here, $119. The other shapes, $139. Holy smoke. Wilson, I'm not even saying it right. That was before you add the extra discount. So those Echoes, after code, $44 for the elongated, the hybrid. The standard's $35. The Phoenix series after code, $125 for the elongated, for the hybrid. The standard, this one right here, is $107. And then
Not
the
bad.
discounts get even crazier for the shapeshifters and the super quartz. Go check those out. I mean, they're selling their glasses for $17 after promo code. It's crazy. Of course, help them out. They're trying to sell some gear. I don't think this one's going to be on the site, but whenever I talk about Course, I gotta bring up the Saved by the Bell paddle. So this is the Super Court line. So the Super Courts, this one, I don't think you can get this colorway, but this is going to be $44.10 after code during that sale. November 26th, November 30th. And folks, I would mark your calendar for that one because that is some crazy pricing. And I bet you there are going to be some sellouts of some of the different shapes and whatnot. And then last week we highlighted, and I'll just highlight one more time, the crazy Holbrook Arma sale. So this is that Gen 3 paddle, but instead of doing a bunch of EVA foam horseshoe, they did narrow cell honeycomb and then bigger cell honeycomb in the center. After this weird promo code they gave me, Matthew Condart BFCM50, I'll link it below. That's going to make this thing 50% off from November 18th to December 2nd. So I believe that's going to be $100. And so if you want like a paddle to experiment with and see something crazy, I think this one's one to look at. And then our friends over at Body Helix, I'm sporting their little pullover right now, or whatever you might call this, which, Wilson, I know you like this. You're always trying to rob me of this, aren't you? Tell the audience, trying to take the shirt off my back.
I like it. I like the gear you have. It's nice.
Oh, too kind, too kind. But so Body Helix is actually rebranding to their pickleball business. They're rebranding to Flick, Pickleball, to keep their compression business separate. And so they're also doing some sales. So keep your eyes peeled. All the details for that are on their site. But if you, I think it's might be live now. Double check. But the reviewer codes will stack, and you'll get a special gift if you use the code. And so they've got some very, very good deals going on. We'll probably talk about that more on the channel as we go. But definitely check them out if you're not familiar with Body Helix. They've got some great paddles. You've hit quite a bit with one of their paddles, haven't you? Want to tell folks about that one?
Yeah, I actually played with both the Falcon, which is the thinner one with the cork inserts, and then the Flick F1. Um, Both great paddles. I like how they are pushing the pickleball tech because they're pretty unique in what they do, especially the Falcon. And they are definitely powerful. I think the Flick F1 is one of the more powerful paddles, if not the most powerful, on I think John Q's list.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, if you want a power paddle, there you go. But I think no, I think they have a standard or hybrid shape. But I played with the elongated one. Yeah, but
Yes.
powerful paddles. Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not sure if check out their site. Yeah, people really like the elongated one you played with. That one is tournament approved and all of
Mhm.
that. Um, yeah, they're a very cool company. I'm not sure if it made is the top slot for John Q's
It's up there.
list, but yeah, it is the elongated version that's USAP approved, not just Flick approved. Very, very popular paddle. One of our friends plays with it all of the time, and he has done well with it for sure. And then Selkirk is also doing sales. They've got an early Black Friday thing going on right now. It started November 3rd. It's going to November 25th, and you can get some of their older Labs paddles in particular are discounted if you want to get in on a Selkirk Labs without paying $333. Now would be a good time to look. And yeah, they're gonna have some more sales as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And then one other one I wanted to point out. So this is a brand new company, FNB and Fusion Fiber. So yeah, this company, we've talked about it before, Forge and Bond. It's using very innovative tech, very unique stuff. And then our friend over at Pickleball Pursuits podcast, Mr. Pickleball, etc., had quite a part in designing this thing. And they are doing a Black Friday sale, and they're going to do 25% off paddles. I think for at least some of the early purchasers, there is going to be freebies. And I'm not sure I don't think promo codes are going to stack, but make sure you use my link. That will help make sure you get the best price, but it'll also help support the channel. And so if you wanted to get in, this one is starting to be reviewed. And if you want to get in, be an early adopter of some new kind of tech, I think this would be a good time to do that. And so those are kind of the ones I wanted to highlight, Wilson. There are also some crazy deals at PaddleTech and ProXR, including those mystery boxes I just talked about. And then some other companies that I think are going to have their Black Friday deals allow for code stacking. So all of these use promo code Matthew K. If you see something you want there, type in Matthew K and see if you can get a better price. I believe Carbon is having those deals, and I also, promo code Matthew K10 works with them as well. But Engage is doing stacking. Enhanced Pickleball, so the folks that make the DinkMaster Pro, the folks that just dropped the Enhanced Duo. My code with them, though, you'll want to use for the paddles, Matthew K20. And then, yeah, Enhance's codes are different. I'll make sure to include that in the show notes. And then Luz, Pickleball Apes, Vatic, Element 6, which we will be covering on the channel. I finally got some of their paddles in, Wilson. Nice. Engage, I already said. And then the folks that make the FORWRD bags, as well as a tiny company called Nexus. And I've reviewed one of their paddles before. The promo codes are supposed to stack with them as well. And so I'll try to update folks on the next pod if I spot anything else. But that leads us to the big section. Well, what do you think? What do you think of those deals, Wilson? Anything pop out to you?
I think they're great. I really like 11.624's deals. Um, and especially their giveaway. 10 grand. Imagine that. You go out and buy a paddle and you get like 10 grand.
Whew, that'd be a lot of overgrips. But all right.
Yeah.
All right, guys and gals. Now is the time. It is the Matthew K. Pickleball plus Wilson holiday gift guide. Don't get your loved one the wrong paddle. Don't make them hit something they don't want. Give them something you know they'll love. And so the first thing I wanted to do is share is kind of a gag gift. We talked about it before. The Pickle Zapper. This thing is basically an electric Slyce water, but it is made for pickleball lovers. And so it's got the little stand in case you want to set it up. It's got a built-in UV light, and it's just pickleball themed. I think it's very funny. This is $20 on Amazon. This, I think, will get a smile, and that's what you're really looking for at the holidays. Just getting someone to smile. And
I actually used it the other day and I was able to catch a couple of flies, so win-win.
There we go. It works, folks. It works. And if you want to win one for free, check out our other podcast. I believe it was the last podcast. Hopefully there's a link on the screen. We are raffling one off. And then on just a little side note, we're also, Wilson has already tried this out.
Yeah.
But Pickle Gone bug spray. And so this is, if you got those pesky bugs, zipping and zapping by you on the courts, which always happens once my hat gets sweaty, especially at night. Try that. Wilson, didn't you say you liked it?
Yeah, I liked it very much because one big thing is that it's made of natural ingredients. However, I noticed that I had to apply a little more than DEET and more frequently. I have to reapply, but I do like it because I have my dog with me all the time, and DEET is not very good to have around dogs, especially since they lick you after you have a sweaty session, right? So
Oh
I
man.
appreciate the natural ingredients.
Wilson, I didn't. That is a good thing to know.
Yeah, you don't
Holy
want Buffy
smoke!
licking deep.
I don't want Buffy licking deet. And so
Yeah.
yeah, that's available on Amazon. Would definitely fit in someone's stocking. And yeah, that's kind of the theme, folks, of this list. Like just stuff to try to that has a purpose, but also when they pull it out or unwrap it, will make them smile because you know the holidays, Wilson, they can be stressful. They can be
Yeah.
stressful. And any chance you have to make one of your loved ones smile and not scream at you is an opportunity you should take
Yeah.
advantage of. But so yes, that's available on Amazon. It will not work on in-laws. It is only to deter bugs. All right, Wilson, this is one you wanted to chat about. But speaking of stocking stuffers, our friends over at BodhiPickleball have basically every pickleball accessory imaginable. Um, I don't think you can go wrong grabbing. If you're worried, Wilson was worried you might grab some of the wrong grips. All right, grab some of the grippy ones like I like, and then grab some of the dry ones, and then let your partner decide which is for them. But are there other Bodhi accessories that you're a fan of?
I really like their edge guards. It's just they come in all sorts of colors, and then the 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 Bodhi pickleball icon is really nice. I've
All
always
right.
enjoyed
So,
it.
so you
Yeah.
like their edge tape. They also have the little sun sleeves for your arms. They got really good hats. Not this hat. This hat's
Oh,
from Bread and Butter. But and then
um,
oh
sorry,
yeah.
quick note. I love their bag, their tournament bag. That's my main bag that I use. Thank you for Bodhi. Uh, thank you, Bodhi. Yeah. But yeah, it's gigantic. I can fit all the paddles that I need to test in, during a play session. And it has a lot of accessory pockets that you can
Yeah.
use to organize stuff.
The the Bodhi bag is huge. You could fill
Hmm.
that with all of your holiday gifts.
Yeah.
Just have one thing under the tree. But they also have towels. I'm a big fan of their shirts. They have a couple different styles. But check them out. Promo code Matthew K works there. And also, I should note, like almost all of these companies are doing Black Friday sales as well. So once again, I encourage you to stock up on your holiday gifts now while everything's discounted. And then Wilson really likes Bodhi's edge tape, but I also really like this brand's edge tape, PickleSkins. And what I really like about this is it stretches really well. So it covers the edge really well, and then it's got dimples like the way a pickle does. That really helps hide like creases and bubbles because I hate putting on an edge tape and there being bubbles. My OCD just will not shut up. That bothers me so much. And there are some of my favorite edge tape. I used to reserve that exclusively for my edgeless gearbox paddles, but now Gearbox has edge guards, so it's not as crucial, but it's one of my favorite edge tapes. And then I also wanted to highlight, speaking of accessories, one that I wanted to highlight was Pickleball Effect. He's, if you need another point of view on a paddle other than Matthew K. Pickleballs, Pickleball Effect is one of the OG reviewers. He's got some pretty good insights. No, one of the OG reviewers. But he also is now a freaking pickleball accessories mogul, and one of my favorites that he makes are cap coins. And basically, if you're watching this and you're not the pickleball player, but you're getting gifts for the pickleball player, I think getting some cap coins would be something that your pickleball lover would really love and not even know. It's like one of those gifts you didn't know you needed, because not a lot of people know about. This is basically, it's handle weight, and so weight you put in the handle as opposed to like the tungsten or the lead weight that you put on the edge of the paddle. And this, I think, is going to become more and more utilized, especially in the next year, because I think with all the changes with foam paddles, I think folks are now really conscientious, no, really aware of paddle feel. And so adding weight to the handle basically lowers the balance point, can firm up a paddle. It basically just can really just fine tune how a paddle feels in your hand. And I think this is something basically any person that plays pickleball will appreciate. What do you think? Am I off base here? Do you think it's a
No,
good gift?
you're right on the point, right on point. But I do also want to shout out to give a shout out to their tuning tape.
Yes.
Because lead is a little toxic, and tungsten for some reason is getting more expensive. And I appreciate that Braden is actually, trying to find alternatives because he understands that, tungsten is expensive and lead is toxic. And so, he found this product, or he created this product for the masses. And it's
Yes.
cheaper than tungsten by a lot. So
Yeah.
great
I
alternative.
I think if you're filling someone's pickleball gear or someone's stocking up with pickleball gear, these two items have to be in it. I think tuning tape, cap coins, start with that. And this is something that every pickleball player that's serious about pickleball will utilize. And so I don't think you can go wrong with that. And then, hey, once you're shopping over at PickleBall, I'm actually a fan of this little product here. This is his grip enhancer. It's basically you put it on your hands, and it's helps you have a secure grip on your paddle. And I don't know, you'll be giving this in winter, so it might not be as big of a deal. But when it gets hot out here in LA, I need every edge I can get to glue my hand to my paddle. I don't want to be dropping my paddle in the kitchen with my sweaty grip. No. So this is another thing you could stuff in that stocking. And then finally, I wanted to highlight. So this is like if you're serious, if you're serious about getting your pickleball lover something cool. This, we've talked about it before. So we were talking about handle weight. This Slyce, they're the OGs for handle weight. They have their own take on cap coins, but this is, if you know your husband or wife has a paddle that they love, that they're going to hit with, that they're going to put in the coffin when they get buried, that won't ever let go. Find out what it is. Go to the Slyce's website and get them a Slyce speed cap. And so you'll need to know what paddle they play with. This one is actually adjustable. This insert can be switched out. And that's probably the one I'd recommend because you don't know what weight that they want. And they might not even know. And this is a fun way to experiment with weight. But they also have some crazy designs. They partner with tons of places. But that one is a little bit more of like you need to know your pickleball lovers, weapon of choice out on the courts. But that one, if I was to get a Slyce speed cap from my parents, I'd be like, you see me, you know me, because you know what? When you get that gift, that as soon as you open, you will never use. Oh. And I can't. Are you good at this, Wilson? I am very bad at I can't hide
Can't
like my
fake it.
feelings. I can't. I'm so bad at it. Like I try, but like when you get that gift, like what's your go-to? Is it just, oh, thank you? Like, what do you do if you get a gift and you know, like, oh, this is a re-gift? Like, what do you do? What should I say? What should one say?
No, just a simple acknowledgement. Oh, thank you for the gift. You don't have no need to make it too fake or whatever. Just an easy thank you. I mean,
All
that's my
right.
go-to.
That's your go-to. I appreciate that. Wilson,
Then you post it on Facebook Marketplace the next day.
the next day, yeah. Oh, man. That's when I should look at the resale sites. Yeah, I bet there's some good stuff. All right, moving along. And folks, if you've used any of these accessories, comment down below. Let folks know what you think because that's going to help them figure this out. But one other thing I want to point out, the controversial, still getting roasted. You see this? This is a towel, microfiber towel. Yeah, use this. You can wipe your paddle, but you don't want to just give your partner a microfiber towel. That's a kind of a sad gift. But you could also get them paddle cleaner. The one I recommend is Bare Naked. This I think is great if you're someone that's concerned about damaging your paddle with a paddle eraser. Not everyone is concerned about that. A lot of folks think paddle cleaner is a ripoff. I don't agree with that, but there's going to be a commenter that's gonna let you know their opinion. I have used this, and I've been able to get stuff off of paddles that was very difficult. And so I like Bare Naked. I believe when you buy one, it comes with a towel. Maybe you have to add it on, but we've talked about this before on the pod, and
I
I'm a fan.
forgot. Is that Kevlar or spray-on grit safe?
So this one is you could use on anything. So yeah,
Okay,
so
that's
you
good.
would want yeah. So I oh man, you've opened yeah. The commenters are coming now, but yeah. So back when Kevlar came out, if you damaged your paddle, a little Kevlar thread could pop up,
Hmm.
and if you used an eraser on it, it would damage it more. And so that's when this whole thing started. Like, how do I clean my paddle? And so but people are like, well, that's a damaged paddle. Like, you don't really need to use. You can just use an eraser, but and that's like an eraser's not going to damage a paddle, Kevlar paddle. Maybe that might be true, but if you have a damaged Kevlar paddle and you don't want to damage it more, right?
Mm,
So
yeah.
I tell my dad has a Kevlar paddle. I tell him to not use an eraser and you could use a spritz of water and wipe it down. But if you have this, I just like this better. But yeah, and then I actually highlight a makeup cleaner pad in video that I think is even better than a microfiber cloth. And then, all right, folks, there's more. There's more. You know what? This is a gift that you might give yourself by giving it to your loved one. But find them a nice, quiet pickleball. So then when they're practicing their dinks on the garage door, you won't have to hear it. This is basically a silent pickleball. This one is from Enhanced Pickleball. It's called a Ninja Ball. There's some other brands. Carbon has some. This is the one I use. I like this one. I like the bounce it has. But I think this is a great stocking stuffer, and it's a gift you will appreciate. Because back when I was a kid, you know what? I would my uncle. There was a rivalry between my dad and my uncle. Apparently, they would always gift their brother. So they would gift the other family kids toys that made noise because they knew it would annoy their
Wow.
brother. But somehow we'd play with those all day on Christmas. Oh, we'd play sirens and the whoops and all the beeps. But then the next day, it just didn't work anymore, and so I think there's some sabotage going on because I think should have lasted longer. But I think my dad maybe poked a few wires to make it. But that first day, whew, that was some fun play. But yeah, if your partner is always dinking on that wall, driving you bananas, check out A Quiet Pickleball. And then this one is once again for the adventurous. But we talked about this recently. I think a lot of folks really would appreciate getting a Hesacore in their stocking. And this is basically a way to improve your stock grip on a pickleball paddle. But I would also recommend checking out a smaller company called Ethos. They've got a couple different grips to choose from. And I think there might be some new ones in the works. If you don't know what your partner wants, though, you can stick with the classic Universal Pro Undergrip from Ethos. And that, I think, is something that, someone might not actually buy for themselves. But it's one of those gifts like, oh, it'd be nice to have. And I think check them out. And Ethos in particular is going to be running some sales, I believe. So check that out. And then you can't have a pickleball Christmas without some pickleballs. But you don't want to get your loved one some boring X40s. But if you are going to get your loved one some boring X40s, why don't you get them the candy pack? That's gonna they'll either love or hate you for that. But I love those. But you don't want to get some bad pickleballs. And what I wanted to really suggest is get your loved one of the Lifetime Pickleballs, LT Pro 48s. These are kind of like the holy grail right now of pickleballs. They're supposed to stay round more. A lot of professional players are really championing them, but they're freaking hard to get. Your loved one might not have this in their bag. But now Pickleball Central carries them. Use my link, you'll get the best price. And yeah, it's just a very unique ball. And once again, this is like one of the things like, I'm married to the X40. Will I ever stop playing with it? Actually, Wilson, I think we should. I think we need to start using this one because I think this will force us to play faster because it's a harder ball, and I think I would benefit from that. But anyway, I think this is a great ball to get, and your pickleball lover, I think, would appreciate maybe the little nudge into trying a new pickleball. What do you think? Would this be a toxic gift to gift, or would you be excited?
No, I think it will be a fun gift. But you know how picky people are at open play, though. I mean, yes,
At
it could
open play,
be
yeah.
it could be what the pros use, but if it's not an X40 or whatever,
Yeah.
people will be like, throw that away.
All right, folks. Let us know down in the
I don't
comments.
know. People
I
are
want to
picky.
know, is it just SoCal, LA area where folks are really picky about their pickleball choice, or are they picky in your area? Comment below. Let's figure out which part of the country is more
And
accepting of non-Franklins.
and if they're picky, let us know
Yeah,
what
let us know.
people prefer.
Yeah, I would like to know. I think it's very climate dependent, which you like, which yeah,
Yeah, I actually have it's weird. I have friends in Washington where it gets cold in the winter and they switch from Franklin's to the Pro S1s, which is very interesting. Yeah, because
all right.
yeah, but
Yeah, out here in California, I think we really like our mushy balls. But back in the
even though
day,
it's so hot here.
yeah. But back in the day, though, Duras people
Yeah.
like it'd be like you go to open play and you walk onto a court and it's like someone was like trying to sell you drugs or something. Let's play with the Dura. Let's play with the Dura. And it's like they're really like trying to convince you to like just to like give it a chance. Did you ever
I actually
experience
haven't
that?
I have, but I
Yeah.
now that you brought up the Duras, I realize I actually haven't seen one in the wild in some time. I don't think I've
Yeah.
seen one all year. I mean, people have used other alternatives. I mean, um, I've actually even seen more lifetime balls. No,
Yeah.
sorry, Vulcan. I've seen more
Yes,
Vulcans
yes.
than Duras
Yeah.
recently, you
I
know.
think the Duras just they didn't last and I think
Uh,
every Dura pusher has switched to I think the Vulcans were a big one. Yeah, not lifetime. I only know one person that has a lifetime ball other than us, but maybe now that they're available on Pickleball Central. And now, another thing I wanted to highlight, and this I think is a requirement for any pickleball lover's stocking. All right, are you ready? It's the Bzer training balls. These are flexible, folks. You're gonna see some bad knockoffs on Amazon. I'm sorry. Do not get those. Make sure you get the Bzer ones. The knockoffs are driving golf ball training drive. How do you say it? Practice
Training
driving
golf
balls.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
you're freaking hard. They're gonna knock a tooth out.
Or
I
they'll
do
just
not.
crack.
Or yeah, they would maybe. Yeah, I guess they could crack. But I've bounced one on a paddle once. And I was like, first off, they have a crazy. They are very fast, but these are fast too. But I was just scared I was gonna chip a tooth because they're freaking hard. Do not get those, in my opinion. Get Bzers. They're the OG. They're very good. And then Mr. Wilson, Bzer actually has a new accessory that I thought I had in front of me, but I do not have it in front of me. Do I have it? I do not. But they now have. You have it now.
Yeah.
A little target training.
Practice.
Yeah, and it's super foldable. It's so foldable. I folded it up where I can't find it right now. But it's very, very. You can put it in that big Bodhi bag. You can carry it to the courts. And that's a new product that I think is pretty cool. And I think that won't fit in stocking, but it'd be nice under the tree. And Bzer, I like them. They do some cool stuff. So check them out. And now, can you believe there's more, Wilson? Can you believe I have more stuff to talk about?
I'm excited for more. I mean,
Oh, goodness
I gotta find
me.
some stocking stuffers.
You do? All right. Well, I know you've been trying out Holey's drink supplement. And so they sent us, I had been looking for a supplement like to try. And Holey sent us some to experiment with. I am not like, I don't know a lot about supplements. I'm not a big protein shake person, but I do want my hydration during pickleball. And basically they have created a whole system. You've got pre-game energy powders, in-game hydrate. I believe the one I liked was black cherry. And then they have a post-game recovery one. And so basically they make it simple for someone like me that doesn't know nothing about how to stay healthy. And then they also have a greens one, which is supposed to be like digestion support ingredients and overall health and wellness. And so I've been trying those out. I've been liking the hydrate. The pre-game energy one has some caffeine, and like that's one you're supposed to drink as you go. But the big thing I like, and I guess probably everyone but me has one of these. This thing, you just keep shaking it, and also I like how you can shake it. There's no spilling, but you don't actually have to shake it a lot because what Holey's drink powder I've noticed is it actually stays like dissolved. In the past, I've used ones where it just sinks to the bottom, and I do not like that. First off, it makes the container very hard to clean, but also I guess you're not getting it in your body. It's just sitting at the bottom. So I like how it stays mixed. And they're doing a big, I believe that's a 40% off Black Friday. So once again, a great stocking stuffer. I don't think you type in my code. You have to use my link to get I don't know if there's a discount with that or if it's just to support the channel, but definitely if you check them out, use my link below. And have you had a chance to drink any of them? I can't remember.
No, we haven't been really playing since you handed it over, so.
We haven't been playing, folks, because it's been raining, not because we're
Yeah.
fake pickleball. You know, someone accused me of being reading just AI scripts a while back.
Really?
Yeah,
In
it's like
person or like on the internet behind the keyboard?
behind the keyboard, Wilson.
Oh, of course.
The only person that would have the nerve to say you're reading an AI script in person would be you, Wilson. You're the only one that would accuse me of that in person. But trust me, folks, if AI was writing this stuff, I wouldn't be rambling nearly as much as I do. But ooh, this pod is long. I thought I could get through these faster. I love accessories and I've been wanting to talk about them for so long. So now we're going to go lightning fast. I wanted to point out real quick, one of my favorite pickleball glasses. If you put this Brioti, if you put them in your loved one's stocking, they will love you even more. They have, I don't know, there we go. You'll be rocking. You'll be rocking the courts. They've got every kind of lens variation you could imagine.
They have the clear.
I believe they have clear.
Somewhere
I believe
online. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain.
Okay.
Yeah, they have clear.
Oh,
right
nice.
there.
They're interchangeable. I like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're interchangeable. Very high end. Very nice. I think they're working on new designs, but they're like some of the first pickleball focused glasses, and definitely worth checking out. And I should note on the Holey supplements, they're designed specifically for pickleball, which is like one thing I really appreciate. And oh my gosh, did you hear that avalanche? That's how many accessories I've got. But the other thing, this doesn't go in the stocking, folks. This is one of the creme de la creme gifts that you give your loved one. These are stands plus recovery shoes. These are as premium as you get. These are the things you put on your feet when you're walking off the courts or when you're walking up to the winner's podium at the tournaments. These have a ton of colors to choose from. Super cushion feel. Like every bit of foot science you can imagine has been put into these. I love these things. If you use my link, 10% off. I don't know if they're doing a Black Friday thing, but this is the gift that will keep on giving. This is the Jelly of the Month Club, Mr. Wilson. This is the thing that you'll have your loved one thinking of you every day, that they use them as they shove their smelly feet. Yeah, what were you saying, Wilson?
How do they fit? Are they pretty true to size? Would you size down?
So they're made to wear socks, and so
Okay.
I would not size down.
So
But
you're saying pickleball shoes, whatever you wear for pickleball?
yes, that's my
Okay.
recommendation. But they are designed to wear socks. They're not like a sockless Crocs situation. These are like designed to like help your foot recover from activity.
Okay.
And yeah, I'd say they're pretty. You could maybe go. I don't know. I wouldn't go half a size down. Like mine does have a little movement, but I think that's just the nature of like a laceless shoe.
Okay.
I'd say true to size.
Perfect.
And then speaking of shoes, one thing we're about to test, which would make a great stocking stuffer, are the Blumaka insoles. And so these are actually made for court shoes. Lots of people are swearing by these for pickleball. We just got them in. We're going to be testing them. But I actually just got set up with a discount code. Promo code Matthew K will get you 20% off. I think they'd be great to throw into the stocking. And what makes them unique, Wilson, I don't think you even know this, is their uni construction. So they are made out of one piece rather than multiple pieces. And the idea is they won't fall apart. I know you don't really use insoles, but for folks that do use insoles, sometimes the layers will start separating. And so this is one freaking piece of material. And so that won't happen with that. And then the promise, and this is what we're going to be testing, or at least I'm going to be testing, is these are designed so you don't slide in your shoe. And that is an issue I have had with some shoes. And I think it'd be nice to be able to fix that issue with shoes, with just plopping in these insoles. And they even claim, like folks say, these last longer than your shoes will. So I'm excited to try those, and it's a great little stocking stuffer.
I actually already I already actually have them in my shoes right now, in my pickleball shoes that I've been playing with. Sometimes, some shoes run larger than others, and I don't want to deal with returning them. So it's a great time to have it. I'm excited to try them out in the next few days.
All right. So we're going to
Yeah.
circle back on that and let you all know. And then another, holy smoke. I can't believe how long this is going, folks. But we're powering through cuz you need to know what gifts to get. But
Gotta
I
get the
think a great
deals.
gift and the deals. But I think a great gift idea for your pickleball lover would be a training paddle. There are lots of good brands out there. Franklin has a good one. My favorite is from Gherkin, Gherkin, because that one's made a little bit differently. It's got wider cells in its core. But if you don't know anything about pickleball, it's just a lot of fun. I like that paddle. But if you really, if you really want to buy some love from your loved one, get them a paddle from PKOLL. So they make paddles. This is their newest one, the Biggie, and they make tiny paddles, tournament approved, and everyone wants one, but no one wants to buy one because they're a little more they're not the cost of a training paddle because they're real paddles. They're huge performers. Like this is a brand out of Hawaii. People rip with these at tournaments. And this is something I know I said don't get your loved one a paddle, but this is a paddle you can get them because it's not going to be their main paddle. Most likely, it's going to be their for fun paddle. They're going to freaking impress everyone at open play when they start freaking sailing balls with one of these. Like this is a high performance paddle. There are a lot to choose from. If you don't know which one to pick, I would just go with the Biggie. And then you can also get PKOLL now makes trainer paddles, so you could get them a trainer paddle, and I believe their trainers are USAP approved, so you could play. But that's not going to be the same kind of performance you get out of one of their higher end paddles. But this is something you folks will be turning their heads at open play if your husband or wife pulls this out of their bag because these everyone loves these paddles and no one will buy one because they want to save up for the main. So I think that is the one of the paddles that I think is an easy recommend as a gift. And then you've got two things you wanted to cover. Why don't you tell folks first about the Dinkaroo and then tell them about the lightning loop?
Yeah. Um, Here's the Dinkaroo. It's actually this small. It's the size of one of those click chair camping chairs. It's essentially a mini net. I think it's like about 3 feet wide. And I like it because I can practice and warm up with it at the courts when I'm waiting for my turn to play. It sets up really easy. It's one piece. You just click everything into place, like I said, the camping chair. Um, and I could essentially have a little drill session in between games, which I like, especially if your pickleball courts are near a slab of cement and not just grass or anything. It's great, and even if it's on grass, you can do like hands and volleys and stuff. So I think it's a great gift for your pickleball lover, and yeah, I'd highly recommend it. Yeah.
Awesome. And then
And
what about this lightning loop? You swear by
yeah,
this thing.
this one I use in all my drill sessions. Um, Essentially, it's a weighted loop that goes um, around. It gets stretched around the perimeter of your paddle, and it fits all paddles, all thicknesses and shapes, from standard wide body to elongated. We might have to try this on the J7, huh? See if it works. But yeah, this one I always forget, but it makes it pretty heavy. It's definitely a good arm workout when you're drilling
Yeah.
with this, especially when you're doing hand battles. Matt, you might need to try this out a little
I
more
know.
regularly. Speed up them hands. But yeah, I really enjoy using this in drill sessions. I would not really play with it unless you're playing with mats. And
Thank you.
you want to you want to even it out a little bit, even out the competition. But all jokes aside, the lightning loop, I can't find any alternatives to this. This is
Uh,
a one of a kind tool that you can use to improve your hands. Yeah.
Fair enough. With friends like you, who needs trolls? But anyway, yeah, I think both of those are no-brainer accessories that you could get someone and know that they'll appreciate it. The lightning loop is a training tool. Can't go wrong. Pickleballers are always looking for something to get an edge. The Dinkaroo, kind of a training tool, but also just like a fun thing to make those
Yeah.
lines at open play manageable. And finally, we're getting towards the end. There can't be a gear recommendation list without talking about some bag recommendations as I destroy my entire room behind me. But first, I wanted to highlight one bag brand that makes really good bags is FORWRD. They're known for their court caddy, but they have this new bag. These are very, very nice. I highly recommend FORWRD if your partner needs a pickleball bag. But there's now a rival. They're not the only premium bag makers, so just look around, look at FORWRD's bags, see if one might work for your loved one's style. But now,
Ooh.
Mr. Wilson, we have talked. If your partner, if your pickleball lover, if they're sporting freaking Selkirk Labs boomstick, if they're doing the designer pickleball experience, if they're driving the Lambo up to open play, you're going to want to look at this bag. This is from Ethos. This was a collaboration with luxury luggage and bag company called Duravo. I don't know a lot about luxury companies. I think I'm saying that right. But this thing is premium. And Ethos, they're the people that made the undergrips we were talking about earlier. And they make some really good paddles as well. I've actually covered some of them on the channel before. Look at this carabiner. Look at this.
Ooh. Hefty.
My gosh, that thing could hang off Mount Everest. But this is super premium. It's made to like be a bag you could take to the office and look fine. It's air travel. It's designed for air travel as well. So if you're a person that's flying out to the tournaments, if you're Ben John's light or Ben Johns himself, that's the bag I think you'll want to check out as well. So a couple good options. And then I am now set up with the discount code over at ADV. Promo code Matthew K will get you 10%. And I know you used to be sporting one of those. I know ADV is more for tennis, but they're also doing pickleball. You really like their
Yeah.
bags.
They have the Pickleball Pro bag, the large clamshell one that I was part of their Kickstarter, and I'm really proud of that. And I really enjoy it. The thought process put in that was put into it was it, the paddle was the bag was really thought out. But the only problem for me personally was that it didn't hold as many paddles as I wanted. It had a lot of options and storage, had a lot of storage options to put everything where there was a place for everything you need. But it was with the amount of stuff I put into my bag, I had to kind of upgrade a little to the Bodhi tournament bag. It just had a lot more volume. But I
Yeah.
think if I wanted to travel or something, I would definitely choose the ADV Pickleball Pro bag over the Bodhi if I
Yeah.
had to like fly or somewhere. Yeah,
Yeah, well, not everyone's a freaking podcaster. They don't need to carry as much to the
that's
court,
true.
so that might be a good fit for some folks. And then I promise the last items I want to highlight are TopSpin Pro. I'll leave a link, a code for a discount. that is something that I think my dad would benefit from. I think you've mentioned your mom might benefit from, but it's this contraption that you can set up in your living room while you're watching your TV shows that helps you learn topspin. So it helps you brush up on the ball. And it's that is like would be a really nice gift to get someone. That's not a stocking stuffer. That's like this is your gift, honey. And they even have an updated one as well. But check them out if your loved one is getting serious about pickleball. It's something that it would be good for like right now, a rainy day where you want to get some reps in. It basically helps you learn a skill that is kind of hard to for some folks to learn intuitively. And so that's one thing I wanted to highlight. And then finally, one of the big boys, one of the big gifts, if you've given someone a motorcycle or something, if that's your kind of holiday gift, look at the DinkMaster Pro from Enhanced Pickleball. It's basically a board that you can practice your hits on. It pairs really nicely with those quiet pickleballs I talked about earlier. They just came out with a new version. Very nice gift. I would love to be gifted that. Just make sure if you're apartment living, well, actually, they've now updated it, Wilson. The new version, the top comes off. So much easier to store.
Okay.
Enhance. If you're watching the pod, which I'm not sure if they are, but if you are, for the next iteration, make the base of the wheels, make that come off as well. So then you have even more storage options. That's my pitch, but I think most people that have it, like I see folks on YouTube and Instagram, they all live in mansions, so they've got plenty of space. But for us apartment dwellers, come on, one more little tweak, and I think it would be perfect. But if space isn't an issue for you, I think this new version is very cool, and it now has a quiet side. So the DinkMaster Pro, and then finally my last item, Wilson, you don't know about this. This is something I just got, and we're gonna have to take it out. It's too big for me to have on camera. It is famous. I saw it ages ago because I used to be a big fan of Shark Tank. It's the show where people pitch different products. It is called PaddleSmash, and it is a mashup of pickleball and spikeball. And basically, if you have a pickleball lover in the family, but you're not a pickleballer, but you got kids, you want to spend time with your pickleball addict, but they're like, I gotta go to the courts. I can't have dinner. I'm gotta go dink. PaddleSmash is a great way to lure your paddle addict into some family time, because it's basically, you can set it up in your yard. You don't need a net. It's spike balls. So that game where you're hitting the ball down onto like a little trampoline. And so it kind of combines those two things. It comes in this case, this portable case. You could take it to the picnics, whatever. And it seems awesome. And I think once again, kind of we were talking about our little mini Dinkaroo being like a good thing to kill wait time at open play. I think this would be another cool thing to try out. And I did get set up. Make sure you use the link for them below. But if you use promo code Matthew K, it's 15% off. And the set comes with everything you need, but you could always swap in your PKOLL paddles if you wanted. But I think your boomstick, But I think it would be a great way, if pickleball is part of someone's life, to maybe bring in the whole family, because I know not everyone, playing games with your dad for something that they're competitive about, that can get stressful. But this, I think, brings some of the pickleball elements, but it's not pickleball. So I feel like it could just be about the fun. And so PaddleSmash, check them out. And Wilson, that is the end of the gift guide. What stuck out to you?
I am interested in that paddle smash. I want to go play with you and uh some other guys. That sounds like fun. A little spin
Yeah,
off of pickleball.
I think it'd be fun. We'll definitely check it out. And then, you know what? A podcast can't be fully over without at least giving you a tiny little update about what are we testing right now. This segment is presented by our friends over at SwiftNet. If you're looking, heck, that'd make a great gift for the holidays. Freaking SwiftNet. If you want the best portable pickleball net you can find, one made out of aerospace grade carbon fiber, check them out. Promo code Matthew K gets you the best price. And so what I'm testing right now is also tied to the holiday gift guide, because I said don't buy your loved one a paddle. But say you are the pickleball addict. You're already there. What paddle do you get your family, your son, your daughter, maybe your wife, to sort of get them looped into the sport? And I think the obvious choice, Friday pickleball paddles. You see these advertised all over the place. If you've got a kid, I think you can't really go wrong with the original Friday original paddle. They've got a ton of cool designs. They've got the arrow curve. They now have a lightweight version, and basically this is a super affordable Gen 2 paddle. The prices seem to get lower and lower. Back in the day, promo code Matthew K, you could get two of these for $99, but I think the price might be even lower now. But basically, I've been playing with this. If you know about pickleball, this plays like it's a pingy paddle. I believe it is a Gen 2 paddle, but it has enough little pop assistance for people starting out to like really, be able to get some aggressive play in it. But I've also tried out their follow-up paddle called the Challenger, which was a Gen 2 build, I believe, as well. But this one has raw carbon fiber. And so this one is for someone that's going to probably stick with pickleball or play more often, because this surface will last longer than the one on the original. And they still have some cool design accents. This is the one of the two that I've gotten to play with that I liked the most. I thought it felt a bit more plush and more controllable for someone that knows what they're doing. Like, I don't really need help on the pop. I prefer to like control the ball, and I really enjoyed this one. And they've also now, so those are the paddles. One of these, if you're trying to get someone to start out in pickleball, I would look at these. And now they even have a Gen 3 paddle. I would say that's more for advanced players. Their Friday Fever, that's their Gen 3 build. It utilizes 10mm cells, which is interesting for a Gen 3 build. I don't see a lot of Gen 3 paddles that use 10mm cells, and it comes in wide body and elongated. And the thing about that, and Wilson, I think we should try and get some of those to test out ourselves, because I just found out it's utilizing a special perimeter weighting system called Elastec. And it's basically rubber that sits between the perimeter foam and the honeycomb. And Friday is claiming it's got a bigger sweet spot, more stability, and more power. And I actually haven't heard about anyone using that technique before, that little rubber piece. So I want to try those out. But check out Friday. I definitely think their OG paddle and then their Challenger paddle are very good, and the prices are pretty unbeatable. Try promo code Matthew K if you end up making a purchase, or promo code Matthew K10 also works over there. And they're changing their pricing quite a bit, so you'll just have to see which one gives you the best deal. And then the other thing I wanted to note on their website has a lot of tabs and different things. It's kind of hard to navigate. I think some people wonder, is like Friday Pickleball a scam? Because they see it advertised so much. And then you go to the website, and the website is a bit of a maze, I feel. But Friday Pickleball is not a scam. They just do a lot of content. But they make good paddles. And I would recommend going to the tab on their website labeled Shop All. And that I think you can dig through and see what you need to see. That, like, I was going through it and it was kind of like a labyrinth of information and pages and some pop-ups. But the Shop All tab really helped. And then I think you are testing out something, Mr. Wilson. Do you want to talk about the one you've got over
Yes,
there?
sir. Yeah. So I've been testing out these Franklin C45 Dynasty paddles. These are the elongated versions, and I'm I'm honestly really digging them. These are Gen 3 paddles, and one thing that stuck out with to me was these awesome edge guards. I think they come in different colors, right? Not just green.
I think
And
the different shapes are different colors. Yeah.
I see, I see. So yeah, so these elongated come in green, and they are like metallic edge guards, which is very pretty. Um, yeah, so let's see. I think they are UPAA certified, which I just noticed right now. So if you do play pro pickleball at the PPA, you're allowed to use these. Let's start from the handle. I really like the handle. There, it's really solid. You can feel all the bevels, and the sweet spots are really good on these. Power wise, though, they are. I'd say middle of the power spectrum. They're nothing too crazy. They're typical Gen 3, average Gen 3 power. But one thing I do notice is just the sweet spot. I've played with both 16 and 14 millimeter, and the 14 millimeter is so far my go-to because I get the hand speed and I don't feel the lack of stability that I usually get from 14 millimeters. It has pretty good plow through and pop on this 14 millimeter. Um, so it's one of the few 14 millimeters that I like, to be honest. Most 14 millimeters I feel are kind of the sweet spots are kind of small, and I don't get the same amount of plow through I would get from a 16 millimeter. So yeah, these are really great paddles and from a great company with Franklin. Yeah.
Awesome. I have a review on the channel of the OG version of that line. So folks, check that out. It goes through all the tech. It's actually the Franklin C45 lines are made differently than pretty much any other paddle. And it did you find it pingy?
A little bit, but nothing too out of the ordinary. I mean, like I
Okay.
said, the sound and feel overall was a very average Gen 3 feel to it. Um, but for some reason, the sweet spot's really good on this, even without any weight on it.
Awesome. That's very, very
Mhm.
cool to hear. And then if you end up getting one of those, Franklin has now released their own version of weighted tape.
Oh,
And that's a new product of theirs. So a lot of folks, the OG Franklin C45 really like to add weight. So something to note. And then I believe folks, Wilson was helping me get through some paddles that got overlooked this year because, as you guys might know, we added a podcast to the channel. I was trying to,
you've
things
been busy.
th-
You've been
things
busy.
got missed. Things got missed, and so he hit from so Tehcnifibre. How do you say it? Is it
Just
Technifibre?
Technifibre. Yeah, it's like a
All right, guys.
fiber.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not French. All right. I'm not. All right. But Tehcnifibre, they collaborated with 60 and released a line of paddles, three shapes, I believe, three shapes. Wilson hit with the elongated, but they also have. Uh, is this hybrid or is it
I think that's
elongated
a
arrow
high.
curve? It looks long. Okay, yeah, it's a hybrid. It's probably zero point 0.3. And then they had a standard. So some shapes we haven't seen with 60, but they collaborated and created these paddles. And Wilson did some serious play on this one. As you can see, he destroyed the face by just hitting in the sweet spot over and over. See, I like to spread my ball dust out, folks. I don't want to just get it all in one spot. Luckily, I got that bare naked, so I'll be able to clean this up. But you want to tell folks how this played? This is just a normal Gen 2 paddle, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, first of all, I like to not clean the paddles when I return them to you so that you can see where
What it
you
should
should
look
be
like.
hitting.
Yeah.
But
Thank you,
anyways,
Wilson.
if you like 60 as a brand and you like the technology and the feel of their Gen 2 paddles, but you want a more traditional shaped paddle, you should check out these Tehcnifibre paddles. This elongated arrow curved paddle was my favorite because that's just traditionally what I use. And it felt great. It actually felt really soft. It was very soft in the hands. It was very controllable coming from foam and Gen 3 paddles recently. Um, yeah, overall, it's a very great control paddle. If you're looking for something that is consistent and reliable, nothing with no frills or surprises, these would be something you would want to go with. I added some. I used a weighted band on it just to experiment, just to see how it would feel with more weight on it, and it felt great too. There was a little more plow through with some weight on it, and I think that's the same with most Gen 2 paddles. If you add some weight to it, it really bumps up the power, the plow through in your shots. But overall,
Yeah.
very great all court control leaning paddle. Yeah.
And this is a tennis brand, right?
Yeah, they make
Yeah.
really good tennis rackets.
So if you're a
Yeah.
tennis player trying to convert to pickleball, you could have some brand loyalty, and then tell everybody why you picked this at the pickleball courts. Yeah, Technifibre, they make tennis rackets. So this is, I'm not cheating on tennis. I'm supporting Technifibre still. So that's a good way to maybe give in to the dark side of pickleball if you're tennis, and keep supporting your tennis brands. And folks, I think that is it. That's it. We do have one segment left. Tip of the week presented by BodhiPickleball. That we've talked about them already. Great accessories. If you're hunting for an accessory, go over there. Great overgrips, all that. And you know what, folks? Mr. Soju over there, he didn't put his tip of the week together. And so I'm going to do the tip of the
Ooh.
week. And the tip is take breaks, get rest. Just like Wilson took a break from getting his tip of the week together, take a break from pickleball. Right now we're in a forced break in LA because of the rain, but I've always noticed if I step away from pickleball for a week plus, I will come back refreshed and playing better than I did before the break. And I think that we feel like the pickleball addiction, it really, you want to go play games, you want to hit, and then you get to a point where you've gotten so good, you're hunting for good games, and then you're trying to stay competitive in the good games. You go drilling, you do whatever, and folks, if you really want to get better at pickleball, take a break. I'm telling you, it works. What were you gonna say,
Yeah.
Wilson?
That's a great idea. And to build off on that, um, try to take active breaks. Don't just couch potato it and just binge watch whatever you're watching on your streaming service. Um, Go take an exercise class. If you have a gym membership, go hit the gym. If you're at home, maybe you can play a YouTube workout video like I do. Or if you have another sport or hobby like me, I have golf. Go play a round of golf or go to the driving range. It doesn't have to, you can be productive with your break. No need
Absolutely.
to not do anything. Active breaks. Yeah.
I like that. I like that idea. But just step away from pickleball and then
Yeah.
come back fresh. You'll see improvement. I guarantee it. I
Burnout
guarantee.
burnout is real in pickleball.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to keep it fun. And so that brings us to the end of today's pod. Be sure to like this video, subscribe if you haven't, because you don't want to miss out on all the giveaways. You want to be subscribed. You want to see the videos pop into your feed. We just gave away a Honolulu NF, a Thrive Fury. Still trying to give away that Carbon True Foam Genesis 4. I might just give that away again to somebody else. And then check out the 60 Ruby Pro review if you want some free pickleball shoes. The Rhombus Quanta might still be running once this pod goes out. We're giving away some Bodhi accessories with my Vatic V-Sol review, and then a quartz paddle with the black opal video. And then I was teased this at the top. I think, oh no, I mentioned this, but we are also giving away a free Pickle Zapper on last week's podcast. So check that out as well. But most importantly, I hope you get to pickle soon. Wilson, do you hope folks get to pickle soon?
I hope everybody,
unless you're taking that break.
But I hope everybody in LA gets to pickleball soon, though.
Yes, but savor the breaks, folks. But once you get to pickle, just don't forget it's about having fun.